Hello. In this session, we're going to go through the basic steps for creating a RADKit. A RADKit in the Solvent environment is a project for creating low-code implementations. Um, we already have some RADKits out of the box for Beautify, React, Bootstrap, and Vue Bootstrap. This one is going to be for the Prime React library, and then eventually we'll create another one for the Vue version of this library. And the goal, of course, is to create as many as possible. This basically just means that once you create this project and you have it installed, you can use it to create low-code applications with those libraries, or you can also distribute the actual project. Um, if you're viewing this from the blog post, there would be a couple of extra videos that basically serve as prep work for creating rackets. You have to, come up with the definitions for your components, meaning, you find out what components are available from the library and, uh, and do you know, some manual work to try to prepare them so that you can actually create the library and use it. Um, I think the two videos combined is maybe a little over an hour. It's a bit, long and shows the messy process of trying to do that. It also shows us using AI code gen and the low code capabilities. In other words, we're using AI code gen plus low code to build more low code solutions, which I think is pretty cool. So it is, it's an hour. It shows the mistakes that I made, the mistakes that CodeGen makes, and some of the unforeseen issues that you run into when you're trying to build any kind of software application. So it's I think it's worth watching. But if you don't want to get into that, you can. This just covers the part where we actually create um, the RADKit projects itself. So we're gonna create the project by, and when I create this project, it will automatically install the project, which means it'll be available for me to use. Um, you can uninstall projects and reinstall them. You can share them with other people to use. You can install it as something that's available in the system so that all users who log into the system have access to it and they can create applications based off of it. I'm going to create this now. I have right click here. I have some issues with the the screen recorder, which messes up things quite a bit, and I have to do this, but hopefully we can get through this. All right. Okay, so we click on RADKit project, and it brings that up. We're gonna call this PrimeReact. That's the name. I'll just call it PrimeReact application. That will be the name of the RADKit. Um, we give it a fully qualified name. Don't worry about what this means. The kind of identifier for projects within the system. And we're going to make it a derivative of a React based framework. We select that. When you do that, you can put a short description in here. All right. So when you select the React framework as a basis, it has some preset options here. I think we can upgrade to React 17. I don't frankly know what you gain from that, but we're using it should not create any problem. I think I've done it for some other stuff and it works. So we upgrade there, and we're going to add the the dependencies that you need for PrimeReact itself. So I'll copy from an external source here, and we put it here. Now this involves the styling support. I chose one particular theme. You can choose another theme. Um, some dependencies that I discovered are required, and then an export, basically a bundle of all the PrimeReact components. This particular bundle I noticed I think has an issue with the toolbar. So if I when I get to the example part of it, I'll avoid using the toolbar. You can use your own bundle and your own styling as you please. And everything that we're putting in here is gonna get injected into a skimmer. You can update that schema later on to replace this. So nothing in here is set in stone. It's just a bunch of default presets so that every time somebody creates an instance of this application, of this RADKit application, these are the things that get preset, which means not only can you update the presets within the software project, the RADKit project itself, but you can also change it when you create an actual application. When I say application here, I mean basically an HTML page. So if you think of it as an application, then in that case, it will just be a single page application. But you can also just think of it as a page. Um, Here, we have the preset code that handles mounting of the application. Here, I also need to add some things that are specific to PrimeReact, which is things that will allow you to load, to make the components available for composition. So I'm going to paste this code here. And all this does is it finds the PrimeReact library, which is being exposed by this bundle here, and appends it to the window object so that when you do your compositions, React will be able to find them and render it. Right. So that's the second purport, and there are a bunch of other things here that may be applicable to you, but in our case, we're just gonna ignore them and go ahead and create the project. You can ignore all of this as well. So let's create the project. All right, I think our project was created, but our screen recorder continues to be an issue here. It see if there's anything I can do to make it behave without having to restart this. Doesn't seem like it, so I'm going to stop the screen recording and we'll have to restart it from where we left off.